an absolutely historical evening here at United Park as Westport United played their first ever under 21 comparative game. It was a night of firsts, between first goal scored, first penalty scored, first cousins on the same team, first set of brothers on the same team, first substitutions coming on, and a lot of achievement. The first starting 11, the first full complement of subs to be used. How do you sum up that game?
That's just a great game to start the under 21 season. The first club is the same. Great to get the win, especially after missing a game last week, but getting called off. It was a great start.
And your own performance over the 90 minutes. I'm speaking to your gaffer. He thought you were man of the match. I don't want you to get a big head over this, but I'm sure you would have been happy enough with your own 90 minutes.
Yeah, just happy with playing and playing along with the Westport B team as well. So it's good to have both teams going good.
First half did really well, but the second half things kind of tended to get a little bit sloppy and messy. A lot of loose passing and a few mistakes cropping around the pitch, and kind of allowed Conn Rangers to make a little bit of inroads, and I'm sure that is something you'll be looking at to sort out amongst yourselves, try to assess the mistakes and try to improve from it.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I was saying the first game of the season, kind of the group kind of playing with each other, because a lot of the group would be playing with senior team and B team and under 18s, so it's pulling us all together the first game. So I think we played well despite like our first match together, our group. So and I'm sure we can sort even defensive issues, even though we were many now. But yeah, we're scoring goals. So.
And of course, when you look at the milestones, the biggest milestone really has to be the first goal. And of course it had to be a cousin to score Ted. And if I did put a thing on social media, predict the first goal scored tonight, I don't know how the voting would have went, but for Ted to score the first goal is a personal milestone for a competition that's new to us, and I'm sure that was something that he can share hopefully one day with his kids and grandkids in the years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. He's doing mighty with the Westport Bees, and I haven't seen how many goals he's scored, but he's half full in it. So.
And of course, now that you have your first game and first win under your belt, and I'm sure you'll be looking to really hit the ground running next Thursday evening.
Yeah, absolutely. So I haven't actually seen the fixture list yet, but I'm sure we'll play on. Yeah.
Of course, and I'm sure you have the experience, you have the taste for it, and he'll be just looking to try and build from tonight and gain some momentum. And with the experience from junior football this season actually stands out there this evening from that experience, which helps to mature your performances when you're playing against your own peers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great playing both. It's you're always busy and you're always kind of up to fitness and up to your touches, and yeah, it's good. So,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
A historical night for the club as we played our first under 21 comparative game here at United Park. It was a night of firsts, a first win, first goal scorer, first penalty goal scorer, first set of brothers on the same team, first substitutions being made, and first set of first cousins on the same team. So there's a few firsts to name off. I'm sure there might be firsts that I might have mentioned that you might be more aware of than I would, but on such a historic night, how do you sum up the 90 minutes?
Yeah, and I'll add to that, first time two teams, not just the first time one team has played under 21, but the first time two teams have played under 21. John Hastings went to Conn Rangers away tonight, and I believe they've won, which is brilliant. So that's great. Listen, it's, you know, we're making a huge effort now to raise the profile and the attractiveness and the positivity and the standard of the adult game. We've 2 junior teams, 2 under-21 teams and 2 under-18 teams, and they're all competing. So we're in a nice place, and we're growing and growing all the time. For this evening, a couple of things, Kenneth. First of all, Dylan O'Malley was captain, and as we all know, Dylan is an exceptional player, but he represented his country for in the course that he's in, and he represented his country in Dublin just 2 weeks ago. So we made him captain to acknowledge that fantastic achievement. 2 players, Evan Ralph and Aaron O'Toole. They're the only 2 surviving players that we had when I took over management with an under-11 team 12 years ago. So they started because it means something to have those 2 guys still around 12 years later playing football. And then, you know, we went out and we asked. The other thing we did was we rested. You'll notice we rested a lot of players because they had a heavy load this week. They played under-18, they played under-18 soccer and Gaelic, and they had training sessions, and they played at the weekend. So we decided, you know, that the responsible thing to do was to give them a break tonight, and we gave them 20, 25, 30 minutes near the end, but that was the responsible thing to do. So I just wanted to get those points in. The game itself, I think we started brightly. The first half an hour I think was really good. We were sharp, moving the ball well, scored a really good first goal. Dylan got the second penalty, and then we dropped off maybe 5% and didn't finish the half as strongly. And then in the second half we kind of just started a little bit slowly again. We made 5 changes. The game just got a little bit broken up, but in patches we played some really good football, and we scored 2 good goals in the second half, and Kevin scored a really good goal. So sorry for the monologue, but they're my immediate thoughts, Kenneth.
Yeah, I did notice during the second half there was a lot of loose passes as the half went on, and some individual mistakes with kind of creeping in. I say the lads will probably look back on the stream and probably look how to work on it better for the next game.
Yeah, and you know, we were missing 9 players today, and 9 very strong players. So I think it augurs well for the next games coming up. But yeah, we did get sloppy in the second half, and the lads will know that themselves. Sometimes when you're leading by a couple of goals and that you know that you're a little bit comfortable in the game, you can just drop your level by 5 or 10%, and that's enough for it to get sloppy. So it's a lesson just to keep the intensity up.
And Conn Rangers, unfortunately, they lost one of their players, Kyle Neary, to an injury in the second half, and of course we wish him well.
We do. I know Kyle's dad. He managed that underage team as I was bringing our underage team up. He managed their team, so I do wish him well. Yeah, it looks like he twisted his knee, and I hope it's not any serious ligament damage. So we do wish him well.
And when you look at the game overall, the lads getting the experience tonight. I'm sure they've the taste of under-21 action now, and I'm sure it'll drive them forward for next Thursday night and the games ahead.
Yeah, next Thursday night is a big one here at Castlebar Celtic. They've won both their games handsomely, and they have a very strong team. I know their players, so it'll be a really good challenge for us, a challenge we're looking forward to, and all of those lads, I'd say, will be really looking forward to that. And
I'm sure they will. And if the under-18 game here on Monday evening was to go by with Castlebar Celtic, if there's a repeat mode with the under-21s next Thursday night, I think we should be in for a cracking game.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's a really competitive game, and I'd love if we could come out on the right side of it. And it's great for those. It's great for those under-21 players. You know, it's great for Kevin Kittredge to score tonight, and then we gave. Thank you, Burns. We gave everybody a rest, because the Premier League team has a big game on Saturday night. The Super League team has a big game on Sunday, so we wanted to manage the load and try and maybe give players maximum an hour time tonight. So we made a lot of substitutions, and that was another reason. We brought on really good players, but when you bring on a lot of players all at the same time, it can get a little bit messy, and it takes time to settle down.
And I'm sure Matthew Staunton would be happy chipping in with a goal himself. I know it took a little deflection on the way in.
Yeah, I heard Fiona Horace saying that it took 37 deflections and none of them were off Matthew.
Why was it? Yeah, was it actually Fiona? No, it was Matthew.
No, Fionn was joking.
So I was right to credit that goal to Matthew, number 4.
Yeah, listen, Matthew played left full and it's not a position he's used to playing, and Evan played right full, and the two of them had really solid games. And great to see Matthew scoring.
Yeah, and when you look at the experience from adult football throughout the season in a lot of the players, it really showed there tonight as well. Again, that experience means they could actually adjust the tempo.
Yeah, and the quality of passing, and again we have to go back. I like to thank Kevin and Pat and Tony from the Super League team, because we have combined sessions, and Tony's input into, or Kevin's input into those combined sessions is brilliant, because our under-21 players, our Premier League players, our under-18 players, our Super League players are all training together, and the intensity is high, and the passing movements and the drills that Kevin puts on, and you can see the benefit in every team now that plays adult football. You can see the benefit of that work.
So I know the weather didn't really help the crowd coming down tonight, I'm afraid, but the few that were here, I'm sure they all enjoyed a historic moment, and I know there's a few tuning in on the stream, and I say one or two of them would have been nearly counting the words. Counting the number of times I used the words historic and first time and history and all that. Yeah. I say I probably would have history and historic stuck in their heads after the stream.
They'll be screaming the word historic in their dreams tonight. But Kenneth, thank you to yourself. You've recorded the historic moments and forever, and that's also important too, so thank you.
You're welcome, and I'm sure all the lads involved tonight will one day might share this game to their children and grandchildren.
Yep.
If we had live streaming going on in 1911 when the club was founded, at least we'd have every first within the club's history recorded. Unfortunately, it didn't happen like that, but it's great that we do have a first time moment recorded and logged on camera for posterity.
Yeah, you can say you were the first commentator to commentate on an under-21 game.
A Westport United game. Well, I do have my own little first. I did get a comment that I was the first one streaming on the under-21 game, but I did have to kind of correct the record, saying that the Premier League probably streamed under-21 finals, so I wanted to be kind of straight on that one. But from a Westport United point of view, I do have my own little first myself.
Yeah, and just a final word for John Hastings and Josh. They travelled up to Conn Rangers this evening, and well done to them. And
I believe they won 3-2.
They won 3-2, which is just great, and it means that now the two teams have got off to a good start, so well done John and Josh.
So it's a historic night of firsts, and it all went in the right direction for both teams, and all I can say is I'm going to wrap it up on this historic evening for both yourself and Stephen and Porrick, and for John and Josh. Thank you very much on giving the first positive moments on the under-21 journey, and look forward to many more positive moments throughout the season and the years to come.
Thank you very much, Kenneth.